Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another holiday kind of themed video. It's going to be a makeup look. Technically it could be for anything. You could wear this out to a girl's night out, or like, I think it's more of a nighttime look. It is very smoky and I think that it came out really nice. I really like it. And I also did a hair tutorial for you guys finally. I know you guys have been begging for hair tutorials for literally since I started my channel, so I thought that I would stick one in here and see kind of like how it goes. I'm testing the waters with the whole hair thing. And it's purple, so I thought, like, you know, why not do a hair tutorial while it's kind of cool looking, you know? I don't know. And this is also something that I've kind of always done, these kind of loose curls in the winter time for when I wear turtlenecks like this one, and for when I wear beanies. So these are the curls that I do every time that I want to wear a beanie or a turtleneck. I just think that it just complements them so well. Like, I just love these big, like, messy, finger combed, like, these are kind of also like beachy waves, but I think in the winter time, like, they're just so classic and beautiful, and I love them with turtlenecks, and I also love them with beanies. I mean, like, they're literally like a match made in heaven. So these are my signature like beanie waves, I guess you could call them, and I did achieve this with the Nume Titan 3-in-1 curling wand. I love the teal color of it, and this is the medium barrel. That's what I used to get these ones. So I did just want to mention that they did give me a couple codes that I wanted to share with you guys. I'm sure I'll pop them up on the screen somewhere so you can grab them and save some money. Since it is the holidays coming up, these are obviously great gifts for any women in your family or men. If you're ever going to buy Nume products, now is probably the best time to do it since you're gonna save some money. So again, all those codes will be in the down bar, so don't forget to check them out. I hope you guys enjoyed this makeup look, and I hope you enjoyed the hair tutorial, and until next time, I will see you in my next video. Bye! Alrighty, so we're starting with a fresh face, and by that I mean I've just already moisturized. So I'm going to get this Barney hair out of my face before I prime my face with the Tarte 24-Hour Brightening Primer, which I love this primer. It's very moisturizing and gives my face a nice glow under my foundation. So I'm going to let that sink into the skin while I move on to the eyes. So for primer, I'm using Stay Don't Stray by Benefit, and this is going to help prevent our eyeshadow from creasing. To begin the eyeshadow, I'm taking the color Stripped from the Smashbox Shape Matters Palette. This color reminds me a lot of Creme Brulee by Makeup Geek, and also Salted Caramel from the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. So if you have either of those would be perfect as well. But this is going to be our transition color, so on a fluffy brush, I'm just going to be sweeping this in the upper crease area against that tape, so in that outer corner. And then I want the most color in the outer half of the eye, and then as I have less product on the brush, I'll move inward closer to the inner corner. To highlight the brow bone, I'm taking the shade Vanilla from the same Smashbox palette, and on a fluffy brush, I'm just blending this on the brow bone, although it doesn't really do much on my skin tone because I'm so pale right now, but I still like to do this step because it helps blend out the edge of the lash shade. Super Shock Shadow in the shade Central. Try to say that 5 times fast. That is the biggest tongue twister ever, and I've recorded this voiceover like 10 times now. So on a pencil brush, I am taking this beautiful deep cranberry shade, and I'm basically just mapping out where I want my liner to go. This is like the very beginning steps, but that's all that we're doing with this color right now, is just mapping out the way that we want our liner to look. 2 things to keep in mind while you're doing this part is that this color is going to be what is all smudged out, so don't worry about making it too neat. And then also, I'm only stopping halfway. I'm not bringing it into the inner corner. Then I'm picking up this matte white shade. It's from Coastal Scents. It's one of their single shadows. And on a flat brush, I'm just going to be packing this all over the lid and then using the edge of the brush up there to kind of cut the crease. We want it to be cut, but not too cut. Like, we don't want it to look like that. We're going to blend it out. It's going to be more of a soft cut crease. And I also should have done this step before I did the cranberry liner. I didn't think about it, and I definitely got it all over that. So I'm just going back over the cranberry liner with the cranberry, obviously, because we don't want that white to cover it up. Then grabbing the same Colourpop shadow with that pencil brush, I'm just going to be working on blending out the edge of that liner, because when we go in next with the matte black, mine's just from the Lorac Pro 2 palette, we still want to make sure that you can see that cranberry peeking from behind the black. We don't want to completely cover it up, so we want to make sure that we're making both of these lines nice and hazy, and that none of the edges are too harsh, and that it's a nice ombre from black to cranberry, and then from cranberry smudged out into the white shade on our lid, if that makes any sense at all. And then right here, you saw me take that black all the way into the inner corner, so I'm just using the same pencil brush that had leftover cranberry on it to smudge that out. Then for my BHCosmetics 3rd edition 120 palette, I'm picking up a more pigmented cranberry color that has a little bit more red in it, and on a fluffy brush, I'm just going over where we put that Colourpop cranberry. I just felt like it wasn't cutting it and it wasn't smudging out the way I wanted it to, so I just needed the little extra help of a more pigmented eyeshadow. So then of course with all the blending going on, you're going to lose a lot of the intensity with the black, so go ahead and add that back in there. You want it darkest, closest to the lash line, and then fade it out as it gets into the cranberry. I know, you get the picture now. So you could have left the look just like this and it would have been really pretty, but I wanted to add some more drama by cutting the crease. So for that I'm using soft brown from the same palette on a really pointy pencil brush, and with the smallest amount of this product on the very tip of the brush, and with tiny motions we're basically just going to retrace over the line that was initially created when we put down the white shade. It's the line where the two colors meet in the middle, and then once that is kind of messily drawn on about halfway across the lid, we're not going towards the inner corner with this color, just halfway, I'm going to blend it out with that first transition color and a fluffy brush. Then you're just going to want to repeat those two steps with those two colors for about 100 more times because you want it to be super blended and nice looking, and it's going to take some time and practice. I mean, come on, let's be real. You're not crispy. You're not going to get it down in like 30 seconds and it look perfect. It's just not going to happen. You're not a magician, you know? You got to do it the hard way like the rest of us. But what I was just doing right there was touching up some of the previous colors, mainly just the white and the black, and making sure they were as intense as I wanted them. Then before we move on to the face, I'm just going to quickly grab a makeup remover wipe. These are my personal favorite ones, and I'm just going to clean up all the fallout from those dark shadows and also kind of clean up the edges a little bit. For foundation, since it was like 4 o'clock in the morning when I filmed this and I knew I wasn't going to go anywhere, I wanted to try a new one. So this is the Rimmel Clean Finish foundation, and I've never heard of this. I've never heard anybody talk about it or say anything. Never heard anything bad or good about it, so I just saw it in my drugstore and picked it up on a whim. And first impression is I don't love it, but I also don't hate it. It was just kind of in the middle. It had a lot lighter of a coverage than I thought it would, just judging by the description that it had. But yeah, it wasn't terrible, and the color was pretty good too. So now I'm going to move on to concealer. I also wanted to try this one. This is by Rimmel, I think, as well. And these are 2 new products to me. I've never tried either of them. And yeah, so I'm just going to put this under my eyes in the V or triangle shape because this is a concealer and a highlighter in one, which I thought was really cool. And I got it in the shade Light, I believe. And I'm just putting this in all the regular highlighting places and then blending out with a beauty blender. And before I blend that out, I am also taking my Sonia Kashuk Hidden Agenda Concealer. This is the lighter of the two, and I'm going to cover up some blemishes that I had on my cheek because my skin was freaking out this week. To set that concealer and prevent it from creasing, I'm going to be taking my Real Technique setting brush and my e.l.f. HD Under Eye Setting Powder and setting those areas. Then with my ItCosmetics face powder and my e.l.f. Kabuki brush, I'm just going to be setting the rest of my foundation. I'm going to do my brows off camera to save some time because it takes way too long, and quite frankly, I do not actually enjoy doing my brows that much. Is anyone else like that? But yeah, so I'm going to move on to bronzer. I'm using the Rimmel Natural Bronzer, I think. I'll make sure to leave all the products listed in the down bar, but I'm just bronzing up my cheeks and my temples and my neck area so it all kind of, you know, matches together. Then I'm going to contour my cheekbones with the contour shade in the Shape Matters palette, which is a very cool toned contour shade, but since I'm fair skinned, I really like that. And then I'm going to be moving on to highlighting, and for that I'm using e.l.f.'s Baked Blush in Pinktastic, which I've said it before, I'll say it again, is one of the best highlighters at the drugstore. And then I'm also going to pop some of that same highlighter underneath the brow bone before I move on to a different highlighter. Not sure why I needed a different one for this step, but I'm also going to pop some of that into the inner corner to brighten up that area. For blush, I'm using Milani's Fantastico Mauve, which I just found out that it's actually called Mauve. So I've definitely been pronouncing it wrong my entire life, but I'm in denial and it's called Mauve. So now we're jumping back to the lower lash line, and we're basically going to repeat the colors that we did on top. So I'm starting with that transition shade, the stripped, and then on a pencil brush I am just smudging the cranberry shade a little bit closer to my lash line, but blending it in with that transition shade. Then on an angled brush, instead of going in with that black, we're just going to swap it out with the dark brown that we used to cut our crease. And this shade is going to go closest to the lash line, but only on the outer half. Then you're going to blend out those shades. So you're going to blend the dark brown into the cranberry, and then on a fluffier brush, you're going to blend the cranberry out into that stripped, that orangey color. And then I'm also going to concentrate a lot of that stripped color right into the inner corner. I don't know why, I just thought that it looked really nice right there, so I just put a lot of it there. Then just to make the look more fun, I decided to add Colourpop's Cream Gel Liner in Get Paid to the waterline, which is a beautiful metallic rose gold, and I just think it looks so pretty against that cranberry. One thing that's great about this look is that you can pair a lot of different lip colors with it, but I'm just going to be boring and go with nude. So I am using NYX's lip liner in Natural and then filling them in with YSL's No. 10 Beige Tribute. So once I'm done here, the makeup will be complete and we can move on to the hair portion of the video. So for this particular look, I like to use second day hair, but clean hair will work as well. And I'm going to grab my Nume Titan 3-in-1 curler, and this is the 25mm barrel. So I had already applied a heat protectant before filming, but I recommend you apply one before you do any kind of heat styling. So I'm just going to give my hair a quick brush and then section it off. So this will be section 1 of 3, and I'm just going to make sure that I have my handy safety glove on before I start sectioning these smaller sections. But this look is meant to look messy and undone, so don't worry too much about making these sections perfect or the same, or even how big or small to make them. You can do whatever you want. The only real technique to this section is making sure that you're curling all of the pieces away from your face. So I'm sure by now most of you guys know how to wrap a piece of hair around a metal wand, so I'm going to speed a lot of these clips up. Quick tip, if you make a piece too curly, you can just pull on it straight while it is cooling off, and that should help loosen it up a bit. And I'm also going to be finger combing any pieces that I feel like are too clumped together as I go on. And this is the exact moment that I figured out that I was wearing my glove on the wrong hand the entire time, so if there is some kind of biggest idiot award, I will gladly take it. So this is what section 1 looks like when it's all curled. Now moving on to section 2, you're basically going to do the exact same thing that you did in section 1. The only difference is you're going to be alternating the direction of the curl. So one away from your face and one towards your face. But when you get to the two sections closest to your face, you're always going to want to curl those away. Once you're done with section 2, you can move to the top section, which I like to part down the middle when I wear this look, but you can definitely do this with a side part as well. So for the top pieces, my layers are already cut a lot shorter, so I just want these pieces to blend into the bottom sections that we've already curled. So to achieve this, I'm going to wrap the hair around the wand, and instead of letting it just sit there, I'm going to continuously move the wand away from my face and then just kind of let it drop. And then just sort of use your hands to blend the top pieces into the bottom ones. I know it's easier to just watch what I'm doing than trying to listen to me explain, so here is a clip of me doing the top section in real time so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Before you think you're done, make sure that you grab a mirror and look into a bigger mirror so you can make sure that you're not missing any of those back pieces. And once you're sure all the pieces are curled, I just like to finger comb through it and make it look a little bit more undone and effortless, and after that, the hair look is complete. I hope you guys enjoyed this makeup and hair tutorial. The makeup look might have been one of my favorite ones that I've done in a while, and let me know about the hair tutorial, and maybe I'll try to get more creative in my next one. Don't forget to check out Nume if you guys are interested. I really do recommend their wands, and I hope you guys save some money if you decide to use my code to purchase one. So that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until my next one, I will talk to you guys later. I love you. Bye!